Righty then. Hello, everybody. welcome. Hope we're all doing good. Welcome to the stream. I have got very little plan for today. I'm in the middle of editing the LP, which, to be honest, I want to make more progress on. I'm on the middle of sketching out the state of the game videos. I realised that I've, blinked, and it's May. And it's like, hold on a second. Well, it was January a minute ago, and we were starting the year out with some state of the game videos, and it's May. And I know that we did a Super Adventure Books project. I know that we've done lots of PvP related projects, including a very successful tournament. I know that we've started an audiobook. I know that we've started the main LP. I know that those have happened. But we started the year with the plan to do the state of the game videos. And, yeah, that's kind of crazy to me that I haven't sort of accomplished that goal yet. So that's looming over. I want to do that. I also distinctly recall we had a very cool plan for the streams, didn't we? We were doing something quite exciting on the streams. And then we got bitten by the PvP bug, and we were doing a lot of that stuff, and I will continue with that stuff. But what was it we were doing? It wasn't Merciless. We were kind of done with Merciless. But we had another idea that we were segueing into, and I've completely forgotten it. I have no notes either. I usually take notes of all this stuff that I'm juggling, and I have nothing, in terms of stream aspirations right now. But I'm sure, I distinctly remember around December thinking, yeah, the stream's, set forever. I've got infinite stuff that's perfect for stream content that I'm not going to be doing on YouTube. And I just can't think of what that is now. Does anyone remember at all? I feel like an old man. It's so bad. I mean, obviously the answer is to document things a little bit better. But on this one occasion, I've just, slipped with it. So, yeah, anyway, what we're doing, the stream was almost called Still No Idea, a pun based on the pun from last weekend. We obviously missed one of the streams last weekend because I wanted to take the time to do the audiobook, which I never got out in time anyway. I actually, bless me, have been away from the internet. I know, guys. And that's really annoying because, we did the whole PvP competition and whatnot. And then I did a Let's Play video where I was like, listen, guys, I'm sorry that, it's been about a week, a bit over a week, and the videos have slowed down, but we'll go back to normal pace very quickly. And then, boom, immediately I was taken away straight away. But it's fine. So we'll edit in the next episode, and we'll get that up, and we'll get it rolling. But what was I going to do on the stream? I cannot remember. So almost I had no clue, but I do have a little something I want to go for. And by the end of the stream, I'm wondering what chat feels about maybe a new full-fledged Guild Wars 1 playthrough. So I'll throw my pitch out now to the very, very early birds, those of you guys in chat who are the most awesome of them all and, know that the streams happen at these times and have come out to say hi. So basically, guys, what I'm thinking is, if you remember, about a year before Path of Fire came out, completely by coincidence, this was before even the leaks that Nightfall was going to be the territory. About a year before it came out, a year after Heart of Thorns, we were like, well, what do we want to do on stream? And we did a Nightfall playthrough on stream. In a lot of ways, I didn't like that Nightfall playthrough because, first of all, everyone stopped watching very, very quickly. People professed to love Guild Wars 1, and then it all evaporated. Literally, no one was watching. I remember when we got to, the early corner stuff, and it was like, wow, various things just have killed my stream viewership over time. When we pick up a new project and people are like, I'm not interested, they just leave and they never come back. Usually PvP is what just slashes and destroys it. But that Guild Wars 1 series, everyone tuned out by corner, I think it was. Then people started coming back again, to be fair, towards the end, and it had some value, but I didn't really like it. One, because people weren't watching it too much, but also because it's been there, done that, I already did a full Nightfall playthrough on the YouTube channel, and it was more comprehensive and it covered everything. So why were we doing it on stream? I can't even really remember why we decided to. It ended up being somewhat interesting though, because it was a refresher and a crash course for me on Nightfall itself. Right before that, the corresponding expansion for Guild Wars 2 came out, and that was actually kind of nice. I remember actually having several moments playing through it on stream where I realized, oh, hold on, Nightfall wasn't as long as I thought it was, or Nightfall didn't have as many quests as I thought it did, or this quest didn't strike me as much as I had remembered it having struck me. So there was all of that, and that was, whatever. I guess we did an interesting stream twist on that where I think we let people vote on the build, right? Which just led to all the kind of, let's do 30 builds, which we could do again, and I'm sure that people would find hilarious. Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you just get nostalgic? If anyone's wearing headphones, they probably just heard something there. So anyway, let's not get into too deep of a tangent here. I didn't like the project that much, and when we ended it, I said I didn't regret doing it, but I'd realised that I didn't want to spend my life going in circles and covering the same territory over and over and over again, so we probably weren't going to do that on streams anymore. Right. That was about 2 years ago now. Wow. It was about 2 years ago, though. It's now a year since Path of Fire-ish. It's not a year yet, but, you know, it's a bit after Path of Fire. And speculation might be that Cantha is the next big X-Pack. That whatever these weird Asian territory conflicts or whatever they had in the past might have evaporated. They might be keen on it now. We might find Cantha. That we might not, of course. It might genuinely be Cogs of War next. It might be something more fascinating and interesting. It might make the Norn as interesting as they were in Eye of the North, since Eye of the North, blah, 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 blah. Could be all of those things. But it might be Cantha. So it might be interesting to kind of knowingly do a factions playthrough on stream now and give ourselves a refresher here. Again, it wouldn't be as comprehensive as my Guild Wars 1 version. Again, it would probably devastate. We'd have, like, barely anyone hanging around by the end of it. But maybe it'd be interesting. Now, the thing that really makes me want to do it, beyond the, I don't want to go in the circles, guys, is there is the new Guild Wars 1 hotness. So, for people watching on Wooden Potatoes 2 and maybe don't have so much context as to when the stream came out, it was just this week that Bill Freist and SCW, the men, the gods, the legends over ArenaNet, in their own time, pushed out an immense update to Guild Wars 1. So I would be very skeptical if you guys listen to me live in chat right now, haven't seen this. I've got a video on it on my main channel. There's massive quantities of discussion about it on Guild Wars. It's very, very, very exciting. And what they've done is update the graphics engine. Is it fair to say that? So, where are we? Well, we're in Guild Wars 1. So, I want to show you on stream what they've done here. What they've done is they've added stronger AA. Now, in theory, you could use your NVIDIA control panel or your Catalyst control center. Is it still that for ATI? I haven't had an ATI card for ages, right? But you could do that and get higher anti-aliasing. That's fine. They've turned best texture filtering up to 16 MSAA, which I'm not entirely sure what texture filtering is really, but I know that I see a difference when I toggle it on and off. It just feels like it's texture clarity or whatever, right? So that's good. Those are two broad changes that affect the entire game. So less jaggies, clearer textures, very nice. But then they also have this button here, the advanced button. And what that does is that toggles the LOD full command line argument option that SCW added about a month ago, thus replacing all those imposter billboards with fresh, beautiful ones. But also, it doubles the render distance for the game. And it pushes out, like, foliage. So you see how we can see shrubs all the way out there? Can you see under my cursor there's some shrubs? On Twitch, you guys probably can hardly see it. Those have been pushed out. They used to only render like a halfway, but they now go out a lot further. So, just to give you some clarity, this is Melandru's Hope in Factions. And it's a beautiful map. It's a part of the Echo Valley Forest. Echo Valley Forest, well known for its large sweeping vistas, particularly looking up at the mess and nest of trees up above. This is what it looks like with the new options enabled. And you might think, yeah, this is how I remember Melandru's Hope. Yeah, it's a cool map. I remember this. What's so different about it, WP? Well, this is what's different. That is what you actually used to see. This is what Cantha always has been up until May 2018. These are the kind of view distances that we had to struggle with and play with once long ago. So, obviously, that's kind of incredible. And I've done a sweep through Tyria looking at as many different areas as I could in like a 20-minute window. And the Echo Valley Forest is definitely the biggest difference of them all. It's kind of mental. So there is kind of another really interesting side discussion here that some of you will be thinking, and you intellectual gamers out there, I know that you've got this on your mind. Basically, you're thinking, well, hold on. This isn't just a graphical difference. This isn't just like... This isn't just the capabilities of the engine or whatever. This is so dramatic. This is actually an aesthetic difference as well. There's a question of art. There's a question of design and direction here, visually. Because you might say that this Misty version, well, this is more ambient. This is more magical. This is more mysterious. This closed-in view distance makes the game feel much larger. Perhaps this is a contributing factor as to why Guild Wars 1 feels smaller than... Guild Wars 2 feels smaller than Guild Wars 1, because Guild Wars 1, you couldn't see so far. You know, it's that that effect that early PlayStation games, well, just early 3D games in general got, that allowed the horror genre to thrive. Developers would have these ugly-ass foggy maps with really diminished view distances just to help them render the game, and so that frame rates wouldn't tank, but that actually assisted in creating these spooky, scary atmospheres. And we kind of lucked into decent horror experiences probably earlier than the technology you'd expect would. Actually allow us to. So basically there's an aesthetic thing here, and it's kind of like, well, hold on, is this Guild Wars? Maybe this isn't how they initially intended it. Maybe this isn't right. Maybe we don't do a factions playthrough in May 2018. Maybe it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, this is wrong, you might say. For everyone's main years and memory, this is not Guild Wars 2. The fog is Guild Wars 2. You might say that. It's kind of one of those questions, it kind of gets into the area of the death of the author or whatever, right? Like, it's about... As far as I'm concerned, this is officially in-game. So this is now the definitive Guild Wars experience. It's that Guild Wars 1 has definitively changed aesthetically. And I would say that it is. This is Guild Wars. It's not what you remember. You may cling like an old man to your prior expectations and notions, but this is the game now. So it's all very interesting and very fun to talk about and very silly. But basically, because this is like this, I'm now wondering, do you know what? Maybe we're not going in circles if we did a factions playthrough, because I've done... here's what doesn't sit right with me. I've done one video on this Guild Wars 1 update. I'm unlikely to do any more on that specific video, okay? And I'm essentially going to move on now. We might cover other updates, which would be very exciting, but I'm essentially going to move on. And it's like, you get a couple of images. You get this vista, you get a couple of other ones. I showed off, say, the Unwaking Waters from the Kurzuk side. But then I'm not going to show anything else. But there's a whole game out there that looks better and different now. So why not do a quick, cheeky little factions playthrough on the stream? Do you get what I mean? And the timing might work out for Guild Wars 2 Winds of... What's the opposite of change? What's the antonym of change? Winds of stagnation. I don't know. Do you get what I mean? I happen to agree with you, Lily Bloom, that I think it does look much better. And it's still just about foggy enough. I do agree with you. I think that's very much a thing, but... So, yeah. There's all of that. And that's what I'm thinking of, basically. For this stream, at least, in particular, I also want to show off something else. I've got an idea for a mini video I want to do on Wooden Potatoes too. There's so many people coming back to Guild Wars 1 right now. It's amazing. I'm going to do a companion video to Guild Wars 1. There's one aspect of Guild Wars 1 that I've never covered. Now, I tried to cover Toolbox and was told I shouldn't. So, currently the only people that get that are Patreon people, and that's it, right? But... there is another side of user modifications and whatnot. And that is, like, because we could mess with the FOV. We could get all this new stuff and mess with the FOV. How cool is that, right? The other side of the coin is text mod, which I've talked about, I'm sure I must have, at some point in the, you know, 300-400 video Guild Wars 1 series. I must have talked about text mods somewhere in there. But I never actually showed it off or ran it, as far as I remember. So I kind of want to do a video telling people about that. And not just telling people about that, but telling people about new text mod initiatives. Because there are some. And look at how magic this is. This is gonna blow your mind, guys. Seriously, alright? I want you to look very closely at my skill bar, alright? And my party window and whatnot. In fact, let me turn off my potato, camera, and my overlay here. And we'll leave the others. So look at my chat box as well. I appreciate my user interface is all pretty small. Can I just bump it up and make it large? No, they never had a toggle for that in this one, did they? Oh, no, they did. There you go, larger. All right. So this is my UI. Watch very closely. Boom. This is minimalist UI. This is a 2005. This is the most contemporary text mods user modification that I found for Guild Wars 1. The newest one. If anyone's found a newer one, I'd love to hear it. This is minimalist UI. And you might not like the panels and whatnot. Obviously, there's a big question of taste here. But the idea of this is to be as immersive as possible, and it also adds a ton of like quality of life functions as well on the page that advertises it. I can show you stuff, but yeah, it makes it much easier to keep all your heroes up. It accentuates various effects, the flash when you get attacked in full screen. Oh my god, Rom on coke. Rom, thanks so much for the host, dude. No one's gonna want to stick around there. Everyone watching Rom, was he PvPing? I'm guessing he was PvPing. Is he back to PvP because of missed challenges? Dude, that's kind of cool. Thanks very much, Rom. That's really badass. Unfortunately, to everyone watching me, I'm showing off Guild Wars 1 stuff because there was a big Guild Wars 1 update today. So, you're not going to find any PvP or casting today, guys, unfortunately. That's super cool, though, dude. If you do want to throw a host onto someone else. I saw Georges was playing earlier. I don't know if he's still around. But yeah, so anyway. We could do some Guild Wars 1 PvP. I don't know. So yeah, this is the most recent user interface mod that I could find. It's pretty cool. You got a totally different compass and whatnot. And so I kind of want to show people who are coming back because of the big graphics update that they just put through. I want to do a mini video on WP2 talking about UI modification. And I figured that's another thing we could actually use in the factions playthrough. So here's the other really fun bit. This is the bit that you're all going to have a hankering for. All right. I told a big story on a recent stream about skill icons, didn't I? So, these are the skill icons. Cry of Pain, Unnatural Signet, Washel's Worry, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Well, we can update them. So, these are the high-res ones, as you can see here. Now, these PvE ones don't have high-res versions, as you can see. So, Air of Superiority stays pixelated. Tryptophan Signet stays pixelated. But look at Unnatural Signet. I'll toggle it off again for you guys. Here, if you're ready. That's off. Wait for it. Wait, is that off? I think that's off. Yeah, that's off. And then back on in 3, 2, 1. That's on. There you go. See? So, and it obviously affects a ton of the stuff. If I go display as type and I filter to purely signets. Where are the signets? Here we go. Look at these bad boys. I'm going to butcher my build here. This is so bad. Look at these. Oh, I love the signets. They're so good. The Guild Wars 1 signets are ridiculous. The signet captures looks alright, but not too good. But yeah, so anyway, there's all these little aspects, right, that we could show off and we could play around with. I could show these things off. Thanks to the people who whispered me, by the way. And yeah, that's about it. So that's what I'm thinking. Let's put our camera back on. And let's put our graphics back down. If anybody knows a better text mod, I've got a hidden agenda here as well, to be honest with you guys. I've got a hidden agenda. The hidden agenda is this. I want someone with talent. Please, come on, man. It's been 5 years. Someone with talent, please pick up UMod development. It's open source. Make it work for Guild Wars 2. Because come on, this scene, all these custom UI skins and things, this could be a thing for Guild Wars 2, guys. It always could have been a thing for Guild Wars 2. There's no hard and fast philosophy difference from the devs. There's just literally no one's made one particularly performance and compatible with Guild Wars 2. That's all it is. So, my fingers are crossed. If I talk about it and I'm like, oh yeah, guys, check it out. So you got this. Maybe people will sit up and they'll be like, okay, maybe I'll have a look. Let me fix my build here. So Mind Rack. What do we have? We had Energy Surge. We were running Cry of Pain. What else were we running? We were running Waste Not, Want Not for energy management, which was here. I'm not sure exactly where we were dropping that. Did we have anything else for energy management, or was that our only inspiration skill? I think that might have been our only one. We were running Air of Superiority for energy management as well, and Tryptophan Signet, because it's a good mass snare that I otherwise don't have in the team comp. Here it is. This is a terrible skill icon, by the way. I never put this in my video because I skipped signets, but this is like a bag of like flour or something. It's really bad. And there's no high resolution version of it. So what were the other two skills? What else was I using for pressure? It was not aneurysm. I remember we've had many discussions on aneurysm, and it wasn't aneurysm. Turned out that it wasn't good enough. It wasn't Chaos Storm spam. We weren't using that. We already have our 3 PvE skills accounted for. Oh yeah, Wastrel's Worry. Yeah, that was absolutely one of them. No, I don't have templates, Rod. No. I know I could use build templates. See, that's another thing as well I could do. I could show off build templates to Guild Wars. It's probably good timing for a build template video as well, just because it might be that the devs of Guild Wars 2 are going to implement a build template system at some point, right? And if they do, it could be during this Living World season, or, I mean, I'm thinking about this because of the State of the Game videos coming up, but I'm wondering whether talking about how Guild Wars 1 handled them might be an interesting insight to the GW2 players. It was Unnatural Signet, wasn't it? I think it was Unnatural Signet. No, I wasn't running Mistrust. I wasn't running Mistrust. But yeah, so I don't know really, like I said, what I want to do too much here. But does anyone have any ideas as to like some vistas and some views they might like to see, particularly factions-oriented ones, from Guild Wars 1 locations? I need to change the title of the game that I'm playing on Twitch, don't I? So let me do that. Guild Wars. And, yeah, we can see exactly how the differences feel by toggling on and off like a madman, the advanced option. Like, even here, you wouldn't really expect that there's too much of a difference. We're just in a fairly closed-in area of the city. But there's already a lot of clarity, extra clarity that you get. I don't think that necessarily is an aesthetic difference there. I think it just looks better with the new option, you know? It'd be really cool to have a way of having side-by-side on. I wonder if there's a way I could do that with multi-boxing. You want to go to the Halcyon? I did actually try that. It doesn't look that different or good, to be honest. It's just a little bit of fog gets removed. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure with that one. The other places I was curious about that I never had a chance to look at. Well, so you can see the damage numbers are more pronounced on this UI pack as well. So they look a little bit clearer, or thicker, actually, I think is a better word for it. You can see more thickly exactly what the numbers are that you're doing. Like, you'd be surprised all the little things that people could mod and tweak here. Oh, I need to actually remember to put Air of Superiority up. My binds are also really weird. Just can I defend myself for a second that it has been so long since I properly set that up. Raisu Palace might be nice. Yeah, that's a good idea. What was the anecdote I was in the middle of? Yeah, there's so many different things that the UI can tweak, you know, that you can take control of. I wonder whether someone did come to the scene after this guy did in 2017. For some reason, Tryptophan Signet isn't bound. Why? Controls. Use skill 7. 7 num. It is bound. Oh, that's add num for me now. Oh, I see. Okay. Bit strange. I guess I rebound that for some probably PvP casting related reason, honestly. The casting animation, stretched out arms to cast. Yeah, the casting animations, and the combat is not actually very pretty in this game at all. It's not very visual. It's not very fast. It's very slow. It's very stagnant. Guild Wars 1 is one of those games that nerds on the internet will endlessly tell you about how it was the god game, the ultimate game, but very few of them are still playing it. And most of them, when they do, they very quickly remember how clunky it felt, or that actually they don't enjoy this kind of game at all. There are genuine fans. I'm not trying to suggest that there aren't real fans, because there absolutely are. You'll find tons of them on the Guild Wars 1 subreddit that still play. But there's a serious process of acclimation you need to get used to in this game, because most of it is this that you're watching right now. The filtering essentially means the texture quality is better, makes things seem non-orthogonal. It takes your account into account your camera view while projecting. Does it now? I always get weird nostalgia feelings seeing here because, so story time about early WP. You guys probably know at this point that it was actually my brother that played this game and not me in the early days. And I only played in small spats. When Factions came out, I didn't even know that they were making new campaigns. I didn't even know that that was a thing. I didn't understand the business model or anything. I just one day went to see him playing, and he was in a totally new area, and he said, oh yeah, there's a new thing out. It's called Factions. And this is where he was stood, on the rooftops. And it was really weird to me, because I was used to like seeing Crater and whatnot. And I was like, whoa, wow, this is very, very, very strange. Yeah, and we did the LP episode. Well remembered, Benji. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't happen on the stream. He actually does feature in some of the videos. Some of the early videos. He actually does, yeah. He doesn't speak or anything, but he is playing. You were introduced extremely similarly, but it was your father instead of your brother. That's cool, dude. That is actually very cool. You're quite nostalgic about games you mostly watched being played. Yeah. I mean, that's why you know, some people snare at LPs or whatever, and they're like, oh, it's lazy and it's low quality and blah, blah, blah. And LPs are, you know, depending on who's doing them and how they're being handled, they can be quite lazy. But, you know, the truth is that I think watching people play games can be just as powerful as actually playing them. You know, I have a lot of memories. I've never smoked a pipe as an adult. And I've never really been around people who smoke pipes too much. So if I ever smell someone smoking a pipe, you know, a particularly fruity mix of tobacco, right, from a pipe, it instantly brings me back to countless evenings as a little kid sitting by a fireside with my father as he played old PC games like Myst and whatnot. And old, you know, dungeon crawling games and stuff like Magic Carpet and things like that. It instantly just throws me straight back to that. And they're very, very profound, real memories and like powerful memories of gaming for me. But I wasn't actually playing in any of them. I wasn't playing in any of them at all. And yet the smell of that pipe, that's straight away, it brings me back to this really, really quite strong sensation. When I was a kid, my friends and I watched each other entire playthrough of massive games, so Let's Plays are compelling for that, but I don't like them so much anymore unless there's a specific appeal, like the GW2 one. I appreciate that. That's very nice. What happened to Mike that I used to do jumping puzzles with? Mike's still around. I talked to him. He actually posts quite regularly at the moment on... we talk on Discord on occasion, but I think the last I saw him, he actually left a comment on a couple of Game of the Day videos. Mike's still around. He still runs a channel. You can check out the stuff he's doing. Oh, the vermin. There was a farm here. All right, this has probably already got a little bit boring, hasn't it? Give me an idea of a place to check, guys. Anywhere in Guild Wars 1. It doesn't have to be Factions. I would kind of rather it be somewhere that I don't have to break my 8-man party up, but it could be anywhere. I kind of want to check the Xingji Arena as well. The PvP Isles. Alright. We'll go to the PvP Isles because I wanted to check these before. Alright, so this is the Great Temple. There's not too much long distance, but I guess this is going to be a good shot. So turning advanced off here. Just a bit of fog. Here you might say that this is an aesthetic difference. It actually might look a little bit better to your eyes with the fog there because it's like, you know, just a little bit more depth and differentiation to the scene, you know, that shows something's far away rather than close. But if you look at that aisle all the way back there, we can see the palm trees and stuff. These palm trees here. They get faked when we turn it off. This place feels big. I don't know what it is, but this feels really big. It's very strange to know this is genuinely about a 4-second movement procedure in Guild Wars 2 by pressing your mount bind and just going on a skimmer, and it takes about 4 seconds. But in Guild Wars 1, it's like, oh god, okay, I've got to go all the way around here, through the loading screen, round, and then you get all the way over. It's crazy how good this game still looks. Yeah, someone left a comment saying, oh my god, Guild Wars 1 still looks better than WoW. And it's like, well, that's not because of this update. Guild Wars 1 actually genuinely did always look very good. Like, the graphics were one of the things I think that helped solidify it as a WoW competitor before. So the 2012, the 2010, the 2008, and then the Prophecies Championship trophy. You can see how the trophies get smaller. Then the Factions one. They did a $100,000 tournament series. What was the prize pool of Worlds for Guild Wars 2? Was it 100k? All players and guilds earned their share of more than $10,000 in monthly prizes. Congratulations to these skillful winners. So they spent 100 grand and they split it over the months, over 10 months, or maybe even 12 months. Maybe it was 120 grand. Yeah, jumping in this game is only this. It is bizarre. I'll tell you something that's kind of a bizarre thing to think of. When you listen to the interviews of the developers as they talk about why they went to Guild Wars 2, adding jumping seems to have been an extremely big motivation for them. Very, very big motivation. Among other things, obviously, and general trending in other directions and enthusiasm behind the tech and premise behind dynamic events and whatnot. But jumping was really a pivotal thing. It is amazing to think that if back in 2003, 2004, those early devs, at the inception of GW1 instead, if they had gone the whole hog and decided to do jumping in this game, the entire landscape of, first of all, how the gameplay of Guild Wars 1 worked would have felt, and map exploration would have felt different, but the entire landscape of this franchise might be completely different. Because I genuinely think, when you look at those interviews, if Guild Wars 1 had had jumping from the outset, I really don't think they ever would have gone with a Guild Wars 2. Personally, if you look closely at some of the things they said, Utopia was actually concepting dynamic events. The idea was it was like challenge, you get competitive missions. It's like globally players would complete competitive missions, and if they did well on them, then certain ones would open up, and if they did badly on them, then certain other ones would close down. It's like, imagine missions combined with dynamic event chains, and that's kind of how they were like angling for Utopia. Somewhere a middle ground between dynamic events of Guild Wars 2, missions from Guild Wars 1, cooperative missions from Guild Wars 1, and the Alliance faction border in Factions. Some kind of middle ground between those three things. But you could see they were implementing that shit in Guild Wars 1. They were doing that in the original game, and then later. So it really is amazing to think of that. I don't know how close Guild Wars 1 ever actually got to having jumping. Maybe it was always completely off the cards in those early days. But yeah, kind of fascinating. Do you remember they were saying Guild Wars 2 might get climbing? I do. You know, I kind of want to do a video on that as well. I hate days like... Well, I sort of hate days like this, where I'm so inspired by all the different things I want to do, and yet I just sit here on Twitch waffling. But there's a cool... there's so many cool early concepts for what they were going to do with the game. Tree climbing. They originally... You see, I'm with 7 Heroes here. Early designs for Guild Wars 2... You know how everyone is forced to have a heal skill and everyone's forced to have an elite skill? Like, there's a baseline thing that forces you to have at least a remotely good build. The early versions of that, the primitive versions, were that there weren't those enforcements in place, but every player would have a companion. And the companion was like this, like NPC that you'd get to know really deeply and closely. And you could customize their skills similar to how you'd customize a Guild Wars 1 guy. And the idea was that your companion would be what gives you the heal skill and the elite skill and the whatever and the whatever. That you'd round out your build with the companion. And then the devs, as I guess they moved forward and started thinking about breaking apart the Trinity and reimagining things, they realized, why not just give everyone healing capacity of their own so they don't have to have a companion, you know? So that got cut down. We do lose things when they make decisions like that, though. If you imagine the version with the companion, it might have been a bit fluffy and weird, But you do lose things. They could have done something really interesting narratively with that, really make you care about their companion. Similar, I remember as we were excited in these early days, I think Fable 2 was like a new game fresh on our mind right when that news first dropped. And Fable 2 had that thing with the AI dog, and they made all those advances with how the AI would predict where you're moving, so the dog would really realistically run ahead of you. And it was like, wow, look at how much I relate to this dog, and I care about this dog, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And the idea was maybe Guild Wars 2 would have something similar there, that they'd use next generation tech that would really make this companion of yours feel very alive, and you'd feel very close to it. So you lose stuff narratively by cutting away the companion. You also lose some gameplay style things. What is the one thing, even to this day... Yes, it's now possible in raids, and it has a place in raids. Yes, it's possible now in fractals, and you can do it in fractals. Yes, it's worthwhile to an extent in Conquest even, and World vs. World. But what is the one play style that every profession to some capacity or other can build for, but is absolutely useless in open world and story? Which, remember, as much as us nerds forget... Those are the mainstay experiences most players have. What's the one playstyle? A support playstyle, right? A healing playstyle. That's a lot. If they went the companion one, that wouldn't be true. You would have viable, meaningful support playstyles all through the game, because you would set your builds up to load all your damage on your companion, and you'd just spend your time healing them if that was really what you wanted to do. Now, is it really a big deal that we've lost out on these things? Probably not. I think that they did make the right choice, especially considering how miserably they failed to hit other bars for narrative anyway. Yeah, so everyone will be running around with their own Lord Farron. I feel like, I mean, they could have gone in so many ways of that. You might have found, like, there's a version of Tybalt and Siren and, you know, Forgul. Traherne. I just don't know how it would work. It would have felt very Guild Wars 1-y, I can tell you that. It would have felt a lot like in Guild Wars 1, where I can press... well, I can't while I'm out here. Let's go to another place. Let's go to the HA. Oh, I'll go to the Zation Menagerie as well. It would have felt a lot like in this game, where I load in heroes, you know. Are people here? This makes me unbelievably happy. I actually cannot tell you how happy this makes me. There are players here. Undoubtedly, they're supplementing their teams with AI. If there's one thing people don't understand about me, it's how long I've spent in this place. You know, like, you might appreciate that I've played a reasonable amount of Guild Wars 2 PvP, but I've probably played an equivalent. That might not be true. I've probably played more Guild Wars 2 at this point, but I played heavy number of hours here. HA was my jam. Randoms was alright. Codex, teams, hero battles I never got into. GVG I never got into. Heroes Ascent, baby. That was me. Yeah, apparently you can't even play random arenas. It's just really toxic, which I find funny. Just goes to prove how shit humanity is, doesn't it, really? Apparently, there's just people that get extremely ragey if you don't play the exact perfect builds that they want. And they mass report you, and they sick you with bot armies and stuff. It's kind of gross. But that just goes to show, you know, like... children on the internet will cut off their nose to spite their face. They will alienate and bully out every potential new fresh blood they get to this 13-year-old game. It happens here in Guild Wars 1, it will happen in Guild Wars 2, it will happen anywhere. You can't trust communities to police themselves because people are, like, terrible. I'm sorry, at our core, humans are fucking morons. So, apparently that's what's going on with RA. This is cool. I always loved this place. This was a cool update. Right at the end, I remember this coming out. Imagine a battle isle remains in Guild Wars 2. The Zacian Order reacting to what we did. It's a cool thought. I really like that idea. I'm sure there's some lore purists out there that will say, nah, it has to stay flooded forever because I said it in the movement of the world. You know, there's probably some people who will absolutely lose their shit because they just can't accept change. But I like the idea that they could introduce, you know, a kind of a wacky idea for an episode. We find ourselves on the battle isles, which, lo and behold, oh my god, look, the waters have receded. They can even just conjure up any idea and be like, I wonder how or when this happened. But then you get to explore it, and maybe, yeah, there's a civilization base there in Noid or something. This streamer seems like a clicker. I was a skill clicker for years until I got a Razer Naga. And the day that that happened, and now I've got my Logitech G600 or whatever. G60? G600? I think it's a G600. I don't click anymore. But that's the only reason I stopped clicking. I was always a clicker up until that point. Always. Look, guys, it's the Hounds of Balthazar. This looks like Guild Wars 2. As I said, this was a really late update. So by the time that this was added, I think they probably existed in Guild Wars 2 already. There's even a little baby one there. Oh, yeah, I remember they did this, didn't they? They had, like, the baby versions of things. Yeah, so you got Black Moa and Black Moa chicks wandering around. What a game. Your game looks great. Do you use Reshade for Guild Wars 1? Also, your UI looks nicer as well. Is an add-on. Yeah, so I'm running minimalist UI. So I'll toggle it off here for you. That's the classic UI. And I'm running minimalist. And I'm also using high-resolution skill textures. I've got a pack for those. So if you look very closely at the skills, that's off. And that's on. So I got that. I'm not running Reshade, though. There is no Reshade. In theory, you could do a text mods UI modification. You could use the new graphics update. You could use Toolbox for higher FOV. And you could use... What was the other thing I was about to say? And you could use Reshade for a bit of further sharpening, post-processing. There's like 4 layers of modability you could do to make the game look freaking gorgeous. There really are. You just have to put in the time to configure some settings for it. AWP in chat, I'm on the last mission of Prophecies. I failed it 4 times. Any ideas on how to beat it before you get overrun? What are you trying to do? The bonus? Where are you failing? Are you failing on the boss fight? WK, how close to 100% do you think you've 100%ed Guild Wars 1? Well, actually not that well. This is my main, and there are quests I haven't finished. Side quests were one of those strange thing in Guild Wars 1. It's a lot like Guild Wars 2 and how they foolishly never incentivized you to beat all of the dynamic events and never like made that feel good as a collecting perspective. And they really should have. They should have pretty graphics and things, and you're unlocking your way down a tree as you finish all the content in the game. They didn't do that, and it's kind of shoddy in Guild Wars 2. It was shoddy in Guild Wars 1 as well. So a lot of the side quests, the only reason to do it is the XP and like minor gold or whatever. And I just never did in the end. Sometimes you would deliberately not do it so that you could farm them. You'd abandon the quest and then start again, abandon it and start again. So unfortunately, I don't know what else to tell you really. I've got the Thirsty River to do. Do you guys want to do Thirsty River hard mode? Since I have a Zacian mission for it, and it's Path of Fire related. I'll tell you what, let's see. Oh, by the way, another thing, they doubled the player capacity in maps. So you're unlikely to see multiple districts again until festivals come up. But a lot of people will be in each district each time. Essentially, I never mentioned this in the video, but it's kind of funny. What the devs have kind of done is by increasing the city cap, it's almost like districts don't exist in Guild Wars 2 anymore. It's almost like you just have the regions. There's the America region, there's the Europe region, there's the international, and the Asian region. And that's it. I mean, you get the subcategories, I suppose. So maybe we do still say that there's essentially districts. But, you know, they're very broad, large-scale things now. Mostly, I think you need to play on the American servers, otherwise you won't find people. That's where everyone learned to congregate. Here, I'm at Thirsty River. I'm going to toggle on hard mode. If you guys want to play, come to America English and join me at the Thirsty River. You'll also notice this all started because of the servers moving. That weird buggy thing where people were clipping around constantly, that's gone too. So my build is kind of geared to having a specific set of heroes to drain everyone's energy, but I'm sure it'll work fine anyway. So let me be the party leader by doing that. I mean, these aren't all people watching the stream, are they? This is not... I mean, this is bizarre to me. This is not people watching the stream. This is just people playing the game. It's so weird, dude. It's so weird. Alright, we'll go back to hard mode. Did I see the NPCs in Path of Fire that are playing and using Guild Wars 1 skills? I did. It's very cool, isn't it? There's another person. We only need 3 more people here. You're interested in learning more about the human clergies, which Jessica Price hinted we'd get some development on at some point. Yes, I'm interested there as well. That was a very cool post that she left. There's probably some good view distances in this zone as well here, guys. Is it weird that I almost prefer this? Is that weird? It looks chunkier and bigger. Bigger equals better, guys, always. I don't know, that's kind of strange. The outposts are usually not that crowded. This one is, for some reason. It's not because of us. 2 of the people here are because of us. Daddy Bear and Nerd Down. This brings back memories. I'm glad it brings back memories, man. I'm glad it does. There, I'll turn the music up for you a little bit more so that you get a little bit more immersed. Alright, let me scroll up and see what I missed here. I didn't even intro the stream, did I? Shit. Well, whatever. But yeah, just can I remind people? If you are interested... There you go, look at this. I've got some monks. If you're interested, UMod is available. Get your ass over there. Find out how it works. I want some user interface modifications for Guild Wars 2 as well, guys. Come on, it'll be great. Oh, is it Zaishan Daily for everyone? I thought that I'd picked this up ages ago, and... Why don't I remember actually going to the billboard? Wouldn't that be an extraordinary coincidence? Wait, hold on. Where the fuck did you get those? Get what? People still do Zaishan missions. Maybe I should... You know, I was really happy to see there is a Guild Wars 1 YouTuber here. I'll plug another YouTuber here. What's his name? He still does skill reviews. I talked about him ages ago. The poor guy gets so much shit from these people. And it's like... You are so lucky to have a single content creator for the game. Do you want to not bag on him every single time he posts something? But it's a guy that just talks for 20 minutes at a time about each individual skill in the game. And just throws different ideas out. And people are such, like, intellectual snobs around him. It's so annoying to me. But I think it's brilliant. And I really, really like to see they're active. They're still active. I think I last plugged this guy during the Nightfall series, like 2 years ago. So let me do it again. Seriously, if you want to watch an active Guild Wars 1 content creator, watch this guy's videos. Because he's awesome. And it makes me sad. Every time I click one of his videos, it gets 0 comments. No one's, like, doing anything. Oh, we got a trade window. What's this? A spooky tonic. Thanks, man. Let's open this up. So, yeah. Ooh, I'm one of the 4 horsemen. This is badass. So, yeah, there's another guy as well who still does Nicholas the Traveller. So, each week when Nick the Traveller moves, they have a YouTuber that, like, shows off the new location. Yeah, he's got 180 views. Hey, 180 views is pretty good. But, yeah, you know, he's only got, like, 7 likes. No one's left him any comments. Go give him some support, guys. Honestly, it's a nostalgic, interesting series. If you like my kind of stuff where I'm overly verbose and just waffle on for way longer than I should, you'll probably enjoy that guy too. Your bag management was so bad? Yeah, mine too, dude. Mine too. I can't even, like, complain or anything. Mine's terrible. In fact, I don't even remember how I got by with such small bags. I remember when they added the heavy equipment pack, and that blew my mind. Do you guys want to see my fashion wars? My Guild Wars 1 fashion wars? How do I turn this tonic off? Is that even possible in Guild Wars 1? I guess not. One more person? One more? Anybody? Thirsty River hard mode? Come on. Look, I know it's super exciting that Guild Wars 1's your most favourite thing in the world. Yeah, the pink suit. Can I just show you any... I don't want to show you through this. Where are we? The Thirsty River. Thirsty River. Thirsty River. The 20th time. Where should I look for getting into Guild Wars 1? I have the game, but I get super confused about everything. Would your LP be a good place to start? I mean, I'm going to plug myself kind of hard here, but yeah, I think so. It's a bit low quality and stuff. It gets better as it goes along, but it starts from the start, and it talks you through everything nice and slowly and steadily, and it goes through all the mechanics and all the details. Just like my Guild Wars 2 LP does. It assumes you know nothing, and it just starts when the first game came out, and then it goes to the second game, and then it goes to the third game, and then the fourth, and it covers all the bonus little quests and stories as we go, and then it covers the updates that were after Eye of the North came out, and it goes right through to the very last stuff, and Guild Wars 2. No mounts in Guild Wars 1? This looks like a mount to me, Valen. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm clearly mounted. Even getting a little bit of that movement speed right there. But look, guys, there's a horse mount. You don't get horse mounts in Guild Wars 2. But they're clearly here, guys. Look, we're losing party members. This is insane. Come on. One more person? All right, we just lost someone, and now we've got a new one. You'll get to hear baby WP. You'll hear me when I'm nervous and stuff. All right, there you go. I think people came like buses there. All right, we're just going to go. I'm not very happy with this composition, I have to say. Assassins. Mind you, he's assassin warrior, okay? So this assassin could be spam and save yourselves, which would be kind of hot. So the devs did a stream quite recently where... I love this loading bar. This is a really nice loading bar. The devs did a stream quite recently where they went back and played some Nightfall stuff. And they went out with the community... And they were like, oh, I don't think it's going to go very well. And I was sat there in the bath watching it. And I just thought to myself, don't worry. Like, honestly, someone's going to pop a concept. You're all going to be using hyper OP PvE skills. It's going to be fine. And the second I thought that, a concept got popped. And I was like, yeah, see, I know how this goes. And then they went, oh, no, you're all spending money. Wait, what? I didn't think there was a single horse in Guild Wars. There's no living horses. But there are references to horses, ponies... undead horses, stuff like that, around. They're always skirted around, and they never explain why it's skirted around. It's not so much a serious function of world building and story as it is a bit of a joke at this point, but I like it a lot, and I want them to maintain it. All right. This feels pretty good, just for comparison. I don't know, this looks a little bit more desert-y with it off, don't you think? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this area is not in Path of Fire. No, this is not in Path of Fire, Benji. Thirsty River is not in Path of Fire. Path of Fire's border is like here. It's like the brand is here, and you cannot actually get to Thirsty River. Or the Scar, I think. I don't think either of these two places are in Path of Fire. Path of Fire is like here, and then the Joko Dam is down here. You can't actually get here. This is one place that is slightly off. Seriously. Alright, let's see what we got. So, the Devourers are trapping. So, we want to be a bit careful of that. Let's go eat some candy corn. Boom. Sorted. Go for interrupts, AoEs. Oh god, guys. Cooldown management. Energy management. What is this? OOM, OOM. What are people saying in chat? FDS1? What does FDS1 mean? So this is a Guild Wars 1 minion monster? Well, one of the things I used to love playing was Assassin's Promise. You move like a dwarf. Even Vanguard Assassin support. Finish him. And then you go to the next target. Assassin's Promise. You move like a dwarf. Even Vanguard Assassin support. And basically, if you, with fast casting, and essentially, if you were killing stuff quick enough, you would spam out Assassins hardcore. There was one of the Char Battle Plan missions that gave you tons of Char, and the Assassin support lasts longer when you cast it against Char. So there was one mission in the game that spammed enough mobs at you that were Char that you could have like insane minion armies going out. Like it was the most minions you could have in all of Guild Wars. And that's competing against minion monsters and stuff that could go crazy. Like level 20 death magic minion monsters or level 21 death magic minion monsters. You could just spam tons of them out by being that fast casting variety. You needed just the right speed of kill potential in your hero comp. It was good. My Potato is playing Stardew Valley. Yeah, the co-op beta just came out for that as well. Pretty exciting. This was really weird. I, for a second, forgot I was playing with people. And I saw this ranger, and I was like, why isn't he attacking? What's going on with the AI? What's going on? Have we gone to the wrong place, by the way? I don't remember the route through the Thirsty River. This is the... oh, no, this is the right way. This is the right way. Here, this Devourer has been aggroed. This is... So, if people don't know, just to give you a bit of context here. This is one of the 3 rites of Ascension in GW1 to get us into Augury Rock. The Forgotten are testing us, our prowess. And what they're going to do is teach us about Annihilation game types, which makes us ready as players to participate in Heroes Ascent, which would come very shortly after at Tomb of the Primeval Kings. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn about one of the PvP game types, which is basically just kill the enemy team and keep them all dead. But the twist is that in the enemy team's base, they have a priest who will revive them all every, like, minute and a half or every 2 minutes, something like that. So what you got to do is wipe the enemy team and then get back and kill the priest before he resurrects them all. If the priest manages to, then the priest is also a healer. And he'll, like, resustain them, and then you're unlikely to win, so you have to pull out. So it's an Annihilation... It's a deathmatch game type, but it's just got enough of a twist that you had interesting things as far as PvP is concerned, where, like, your healers and your monks would try to retreat if it looked like the fight was going south. You'd try and pull them into your base so you can get the upper hand. It's good. And you'll see here as well some of the other twists they put on it.
Before you can ascend and enter the rift, you must first be cleansed. Lead me safely to the rune circle at the end of this test, and I will cast the ritual to burn away your earthly imperfections. Your first challenge will be to defeat a single legion of Forgotten. Your opponents will be resurrected every 2 minutes, unless you destroy the priest who tends their shrine. Once you have defeated your foes, lead me to the door, and I will usher you into the next challenge. The challenges will grow harder as you progress. If you defeat all of the foes along your path, we will claim the rune circle, and you will be cleansed. Prove yourselves worthy, and you will be one step closer to gaining entrance to the rift.
The sand dunes looked amazing there with the view distance. That was so good. Here he's using claim resource. Yeah, Rice Cream in chat is completely correct. He says these missions were to help prepare people for PvP. Like, one of them taught you about capture the flag and stuff. And then he says ArenaNet did a complete 180 after this expansion. I don't think it was a complete 180. And obviously this wasn't even an expansion. This was just the game. But you're right. They increasingly focused on PvE. Their original idea was PvE leads you to PvP. And PvP is the end game. But they lost confidence in that as the years went by, and until you get to what Guild Wars 2 is, where that's kind of broken down in a big way, unfortunately. But yeah, this was teaching you about one of the game types you'd come up against in Tomb of the Primeval Kings. I can't remember what came first, GVGs or Tomb of the Primeval Kings. I'm guessing Tombs did, and then GVGs came a little bit afterwards, and then GVGs became the main thing. God, these Chaos Storms. This is a good example. Oh my god, the Ghostly Hero is really low. Don't we lose if he dies? Do we lose? Is it game over? I can't remember. When I soloed this mission, it was extremely hard. If he got that low on just our first run through, that's really bad. I don't think our monks are healing him up. All right, so here you go. So look, we wiped the enemy team. Now we push into their base. We see that they have a boss. It's Goss Alyssa. Yeah, the ghostly hero died. We lost. We had 2 monks. Neither of them were healing the ghostly hero. I think they were probably both smites or whatever. We have 1 monk with no skills. Really? Oh, in chat he said he has no skills at all. What? Here, look at this. Let's turn that chat on there. That's hilarious. Please wait for Celestial to put skills on. Celestial skills. Why do you have no skills? What? Oh, bless him. He actually stayed as well. He stayed even though he had no skills. He could have just quit, thus forcing us to acknowledge that there was a problem. Look, guys, I'm going to be more focused on Twitch chat than I am in-game chat. In-game chat's very small. All right. That's funny. I want to go even Vanguard Assassin Support. I don't want to run this build. Here, I'll show you the other one. This is what I used to run all the time. It's a fast casting, deadly arts. I mean, really, this worked best with Discord way. Probably like 9 on that. Maybe we can bump domination and inspiration up a little bit here. But essentially, and then I'll put on my fast casting kit. What kit is this? I don't know. This is just sort of well-rounded. I think my inspiration set is the pink set. Yeah, here you go. This is good. All right, so basically, this is fast casting set. We're going to go Deadly Arts, Assassin's Promise. So, listen. Elite Hex spell. For 10 seconds, if our target dies, we gain 15 energy and everything gets recharged, including that skill. All right? So, we take that. As we cast it, we use You Move Like a Dwarf on them, which knocks them down and does a lot of good armor ignoring damage. As we use You Move Like a Dwarf, we cast even Vanguard Assassin Support. Oh, I've got to get those off. So we summon an ally. And then when he's basically dead or almost dead, we use Finish Him to just sweeten the deal. Then we run Auspicious Incantation. This is really weird. I haven't done this for years, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly the build I used to run. Paired with Arcane Echo, which will allow us to double up the assassins. So that's nice. We already have our 3 PvE skills. So I'll run the Res Sig. Do I get any resurrection abilities like this? I don't think I do. And then last but not least, we can just have some funsies on that last slot. I've put 9 domination on. So let's run Guilt, which will give us a bit more energy management. So we get energy from this, and this. And yeah. Something like that, maybe. Can you guys ready up? Can you actually ready up so I can see this time? There you go. They say that they've got their skills. Alright, they say okay in a smiley face. Alright. Okay, so let's go back on in. Why do you have no skills? Probably because he just came back to this. Yeah, it's almost guaranteed that. So now we get to experience the real joy of skip the cutscene. My God, that sound effect. Jesus Christ. What? That's the Kunabang sound effect. That's hilarious. Jesus Christ. It's so loud. Why? Oh my God. Alright. Hopefully he'll be forced out. So, oh, I messed up already. Rip. It's okay. We kill him. And now we can Assassin's Promise. And Evas again. And now we can Assassin's Promise. And Evas again. That one's not going to die, I don't think. I think we did this too early. This is not quite what I was running. We have to be very careful about what target we pick. Yeah, we ran out of time on the one. But yeah, it's something like that. You also apply Cripple on the You Move Like a Dwarf, which means that the Assassin support is a knockdown. So what you actually do is you chain knockdown, because the first one's a knockdown, and then this is so loud, and then the second one's a knockdown as well. So you go knockdown, and then the guy uses like palm strike, I think it is, which immediately procs a dual attack for him and knocks his foe down as long as they already have a condition. Oh, is that a combat tonic? No way is that a combat tonic. Seriously? Oh, I never got the cast of Assassins. What? Okay. I feel like energy is still not as good as it should be. Yeah, I'll tell you probably what it is. It's that I've messed up my attributes. I think probably what I need to do is I need to run more deadly arts, because the higher deadly arts, the more energy we get on kill. There you go. You got one save yourselves up. What a god. Look at the little adrenaline icon. That's very cool. That's quite different. In your party, if you want me to use the Kunavang tonic, let me know. You can do whatever you like, dude. I honestly don't mind. As long as people in chat aren't complaining that the sound is all horrible, then I don't mind. Alright. So here I'm tempted to not aggro anyone in the middle there. See if we can get the kill nice and quickly. I missed my deep wound and finish him, but that's fine. Down he goes. So here, you could see the combo there a little bit, I think. A little bit better. Not getting the Arcane Echo going very well. We'll try it in the actual engagement in a second. Obviously, none of these are casters, so we get no value out of Guilt either, but in a minute we will. Guilt is on offensive skills, right? Not defensive skills. Yeah. The sound is all horrible. Maybe you can turn it down a bit. Alright, there you go. I'll turn it down. Dervish was your title hunter / main? See, to me, I'd already found my my main.
And enter the rift.
There you go. Everybody skipped. Hooray! I'd already found my main by the time Nightfall came out, so I found it very hard to get into that. I did have a Paragon, though, that I cared a lot about. Look at those graphics. Is this Guild Wars 3? Yeah. Alright, so there were two groups. One of the patrols will come forward through the center. So it's an illusionist. So what we can do is we can open with Guilt on him. Get out of his Chaos Storm, because that's going to hurt. I think because I've targeted the one at the back here. He might have stripped my Arcane Echo too. Yeah, we missed it. That's a shame. We got some good damage though. Oh god, the Chaos Storms. I did try and build a hero comp that was all about just spamming Chaos Storms. It was like an 8 Chaos Storm hero way. It was kind of a funny gimmick, but abandoned it in the end. Let's Auspicious Incant the Guilt. There you go. Oh, 32 energy. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Alright. And now we've got Goss Alice. It's just like you can't walk very close to it at all before you start getting hit with the packets of damage. Should we double Guilt him? Let's double Guilt. 1 Guilt. 2 Guilt. Yeah. He doesn't even have any energy left. We only got 5 energy from that. Put Deep Wound on. That reduces the heal quality he gets. So the monk behind him wouldn't be able to do too much. And there you go. We've annihilated an enemy opposing team. So that's deathmatch. Now they twist it up a little bit. What's going to happen in this next room is... Oh, someone got a passage scroll to the underworld. Nice. What's going to happen in this next room... This looks good as well. Let's see the comparison. Is there's going to be 2 teams at once. And very faithful to how this would work in PvP, the AI teams are actually on opposing sets. Oh, a transmogrified tonic. Do you want to become a candy person, guys? Let's do it. They will be on... They will fight one another. So the guys that come out of the base over here will fight the guys that come out of the base over there. And we're going to come out from over here. So it's just what route we take. I guess we'll get the base that's closer first. This was genuinely a really interesting puzzle when I was learning to solo this, because you had to get things in the right timing and you had to kill the boss at the very specific moment. Otherwise, you'd find that there was a terrible moment where everyone respawns and a boss comes back to life and whatnot, and that's just, you know, make game over. Yeah, so, interesting story. The three-way matches was mostly a thing when you were holding halls, if I remember rightly. You would have, like, the red team, the blue team, and what was the last one? Yellow team, maybe they were? Oh, he dropped a cupcake for us, too. Thank you, man. What are we waiting for here? Have I messed up? The ghostly hero's not coming, it seems. Yeah, he seems to be stuck back over here. Maybe I need to speak to him. So, you had the three-way battles there. There was a very rare map. I don't know whether there's any videos of it, certainly that I know about. There you go, he's following me. On the internet at this point. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can find one. If you have, tell me in chat and I'll permit you to post a link. But there was a single Heroes Ascent map that hosted 6 teams all at once. And they were all in their own little pens. So there was one team versus another team, and then another team versus another team in another little area, and another team versus another team. And when any of these 3 matchups ended, the gates would open, thus allowing the victors to gate crash on the other matchups that were still in progress. Does that make sense? And I never actually... I'm going to die here. I can't... I'm going to have to kite away. Oh, Patient Spirit. Hello. I love that skill. I wonder why in Guild Wars 2 they've not done an equivalent of Patient Spirit. It's kind of interesting to me. So that was I never actually played on that map, if I remember rightly. Maybe I did like once, but it was only in the rotation for a short period of time, and then the player population was too low for it to sustain, as far as I know. But what a cool idea, right, guys? Hopefully I've described that well enough to you. And you get a little bit of a taste of that here as well in the Thirsty River. All right, here we go. Finally, we can do our combo wombo. The cupcake's given us a much deeper pool of energy. Ow. Earthquake, man. Let's get that Assassin's Promise up. Good. He's down as well. So, like, if you see here, I've got 3 summons down there. What's this? Okay, thanks. I'll just do that. Then saves me having to dig a DVD drive out of my basement. Oh, you're talking about Guild Wars 1. Yeah, you can just get it from the main website. You can just download it from the website. I do not have an affiliate link for that, so you can know 100% I'm not just shilling the game for my own benefit. I genuinely think it would be cool if you guys pick it up. Do we have any lockpicks, I wonder? No, we don't have any lockpicks. Alright, so now we've got a Necro. Let's open with Guilt. I put the Assassin's Promise on way too early here. I actually think Assassin's Promise got cleansed. So really kind of dumb of me. But it's fine. 2 Guilts in a row. Look at all this. This is great. So yeah, look, the enemy team just respawned. So did, for what it's worth, the other one back here. So there's actually a group that will come into our flank in a second while we attack here. So we have to be kind of careful. If we can get the boss down, that'll mean a lot. Ghosty Hero's getting really low. We're going to wipe again. We're going to wipe, guys! No! The monk just in chat saying, shit. Alright, I'm not going to do the Thirsty River again. It was fun, guys. It was very cool. I'm not going to do it again, though, because I kind of want to show off some other areas. Alright, give me another idea, guys, of somewhere that the graphics may look really good. Thirsty River has defeated us. What else might look awesome? I did hear people applauding the Lonely Vigil statue, which we would be able to see from Nightfall. Jade Sea. Thunderhead Keep, I checked already. Doesn't look that good. Where in the Jade Sea do you guys want to see, though? It's not just like one little area. It's a fucking enormous region. It's kind of like saying, you know, Ascalon. Where do you want to see on the Jade Sea? Anvil Rock already appeared in the video. Bacon's on mine. I'm not going to do that. Far Shiver Peaks is a cool idea. I haven't done much up here. And these maps genuinely look the best. Like, graphically, this was where the devs were at their prime. I guess there's Olafstead is easy. Oh my god, yeah, look at this. This is good. Olafstead is good. I should have put this in the video. Wow. just for a comparison here. What you've really got to look at here is the quality on the trees. I mean, you're only getting a 900p stream on stream, so it's not as good. But each little tree looks good, full value, high quality. That's what it looks like without it. And the trees that are here now looks like shit. Olafstead is very good. That's a big difference. That's really nice. Him Raving says, I want to see pre-searing. Oh, yeah, I haven't even checked pre-searing. Look at that. You can even see the portal all the way over there. That's so good, guys. Oh, you could without it. Try and get into an alliance battle. Man, that's nice. What else we got? I wonder if hardware would be so good to load adjacent Guild Wars 2 maps so you can see into neighboring maps. I think that's not necessarily a hardware issue. Maybe to a certain extent it is, but I think it's more just dev time that they don't want to spend that long doing that. What else did people say? The Burning Forest. Yeah, I kind of want to see that. Let's check Pre. Pre's easy because all I have to do is character swap. Pre's very easy. Let's go have a look here. Now, just to be clear, if you guys actually are interested in Guild Wars 1, there is currently a competition going on the GW1 subreddit you might like to go have a look at, where someone's giving away 35 arm braces for the best screenshot. Where's my pre-searing character? I have to have one. You're pre-searing. They're giving away 35 arm braces for the best screenshot using the new feature. So get Toolbox installed, bump your FOV up really high, take some panoramas, whatever. Pretty fun little initiative there. All right, where in Pre, though? Because this character's only ever been to Ascalon City, so we'll go out of the front gate and just see, I guess. What was the section of the Jade Sea that had tons of wrecked ships? I did some image searches, but I never played GW1. Oh, this is nice. That doesn't look too different, but something about this. I can see the waterfall all the way back down there, and it looks really good. Look how even this tree right here is only just transitioning here. You see? That's gorgeous. If anyone has a really specific area of Pre that they want to see, tell me now. I'm only level 1, so I'm not going to be able to get to the Wizard's Tower, but I would love to see that. I know some of you guys are going to think that. Ben, are you actually on source quality? If you're on source, it shouldn't look that bad. I mean, 900p is not that too terrible. Oh, wow, I won't get it because I'm still on the starting island of Nightfall. I have no idea why I deleted most of the tunes I've ever played. Yeah, I see that all the time. Like, I've known lots of people over the years who, like, they'll get drunk one night and they're like, I'm never going to play again. And they delete everything. And then they come back, like, a year later and they're like, why did I do that? Like, why... I don't get why people do that either. Like, why does there have to be so much drama behind these things, you know? See, here, this is the aesthetic difference again. I don't know. I kind of like the glow a little bit, you know? Do you get what I mean? The glow's kind of nice here. Those rocks look a lot better when you turn the option on. I mean, Ascalon, the catacombs could be really crazy too. Let's go into the outpost to unlock this. You found it. You want to go to the Archipelagos in the Jade Sea. Devonna's little hamlet. Yeah, Guild Wars 1 did get an update, Impish. It did. A very nice update. A graphical update. So, Ashford Abbey... Yeah, I get scared of the pronunciation on that now because I fucked it up in the past, and my natural instinct is to say archipelago, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong. So yeah, as it's just whizzing by in chat, I'm gonna fuck that up. Show me how you jump. Oh, it's very simple. You just stand still, and then you jump. I like jumping in this game because it's realistic. realistically speaking, if I was running along, I'd stop and, you know, stand still and do a big clunky jump upwards and then continue moving. Pre-searing is Boomtown. Somehow I don't think... I know that everyone loves pre-searing because it's all super nostalgic and whatever, but as an actual showcase of this difference, I'm not sure how profound it will be. I want to go to the mountains because I think that there'll be some good lines of sight there. The aqueduct that's down here near Fort Rannoch might be really cool to see also, but... all the guild halls... I've got to be honest, I'm not that interested in the guild halls, but you're right in that there's probably some good lines of sight to see stuff. Yeah, I do like the idea of that aqueduct, because that's very striking. Oh, you can see the wizard's tower! Oh, that's actually so cool. Holy that is really cool. I'm in love with that. I didn't even realize that this was here, that vaguely representing it in the past. That is phenomenal. That's actually like a big element of the landscape. In fact, do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when you'd... actually, the tree on the shot here as well. This is a good little shot. This reminds me of when you'd like mod Oblivion to have like almost everything viewable when distant. And you'd have the Wizard's Tower from that game DLC. So when you get out of the sewers at the start, you see the Wizard's Tower up on the mountains in the distance. That's really cool. Just the fact that this wouldn't appear at all without the new graphics update. We can even see all the way... you can see a building under my cursor there. I don't know whether you guys can see that. Which definitely wouldn't have been visible before. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad screenshot, is it? 35 arm braces. You guys can steal it from me. I'm not actually going to enter. Let's power shot these guys. Boom. Get out of here. Alright. It's going to take too long to kill him. I love the look of power shot with the high resolution skill image as well, by the way. And the troll unguent. Alright. I'll take the outpost at Wizard's Folly, and then we'll probably go somewhere else. What's an arm brace? So there were very low caps on trade and storage for gold in this game, currency. So players get pushed into using items as currency instead. Maybe if you're a big Path of Exile player, you'll be familiar with that too, which doesn't have any formal currency whatsoever, so it's all item and barter-based. But that's what Guild Wars 1 became, barter-based. It was one of the more interesting quirks and unique things about it that I regret the loss of in Guild Wars 2. So the main item that players would barter with for many years was globs of ectoplasm, but it even got to a point where even globs of ectoplasm became unwieldy and were not high enough value for some of the trades for the ultra rare mini pets and things. So there was an item currency beyond ecto that became quite well used, and those are arm braces. So arm braces were worth X number of ectos worth X amount of gold. So arm braces were like... essentially, they're just an end game raid reward, if you will. If you're looking for an equivalent. They're kind of like... this is a really skanky comparison, but they're kind of like magnetite shards, if you will. Or like Doom Thrones. And basically, people would collect as many of these as possible, and they would trade together for amongst one another as a very high value currency thing. So 35 arm braces is a lot of money. A ton of money. Alright, give me another area, guys. Throw your submissions back through. Where else do we want to see? Someone wanted Jade Sea, right? So we'll go to there. Yeah, Guild Wars 1 is not necessarily an MMO. They did put some effort into branding themselves as a CO RPG for a while. Cooperative Online RPG. Hey, thanks very much for the sub there. I'm glad you're enjoying the GW1 play. I used to think that they'd always branded themselves as a CO RPG, but I was snooping on some of the early launch material for Prophecies, and they were calling themselves an MMO. Early E3 for Everyone events and stuff, they were branding themselves as an MMO. But for a while in the middle there, they were calling it a CO RPG. Yeah, it's kind of like a lobby-based multiplayer game, like you'd expect from... like, doesn't Diablo do something similar as that? A lot of action RPGs, Western action RPGs do that kind of thing. It's not a full-fledged MMO by any means, certainly. Right. So you want to come here, right? South of Cavalon. You know, I wanted to go to the Aureus Mines as well on my video, but I didn't in the end. Because I figured it was... I remember there being long views there, but it was mostly deep views rather than anything else. We're going to make that build again. This is kind of annoying. Well, screw it. Let's just make sure Deadly Arts is maxed. Let's turn off Domination. I don't know why I ever looked at Domination. Just go away. We'll put that up there. Actually, let's put that to 3. The max fast casting. Max that. And then just get rid of Guilt. Who cares about Guilt? What would my last slot be? Can't be anything PvE oriented. Could be a Signet. Let's just run like Drain Enchantment or something. Bit of health, bit of healing. And let me load in my All Mesmar team. With Livia for the heals. Actually, screw it. You guys are going to sit and you're going to watch and you're going to wait. Does my secondary actually matter for this? I don't think it does it? Let's turn this off. Okay, and then we'll go... Look, it's okay to do Buildcraft. It's not boring, alright? And I'll tell you why, because there's all the sexy new high-resolution icons that you can all have fun with. Alright? Plus, we just made it a second ago, so I'm not likely to forget as much as I had moments before. We had Unnatural Signet on there. We had Mind Rack, wherever that is. Here it is. I think those are all the domination abilities, right? Then coming down here, we had Tryptophan Signet. We had Cry of Pain. We had what was the third? Oh yeah, we had Ether Nightmare. Did we have Ether Nightmare? No, we didn't have Ether Nightmare. What was the last? Oh, Assurance, Air of Superiority. And then the last skill I've forgotten one of the abilities that I was running. Oh, Waste Not, Want Not. I remember. There you go. Sorted. Okay, so let's go back out now. You want to see this area? I'm going to go from the Jade Flats. I feel like that will give you a bit of the Jade Sea much quicker. Sometimes the textures and the watery effect on the Jade Sea looks shit, I went to the wrong hack. Damn it. This is so annoying. Sometimes the textures and things look really good. Oh, it's done it again. It's because it turns you around. That's so annoying. There we go. All right, we're back. So hopefully we'll get a place where it looks great. If only this game had build templates. I haven't been an active player of this for years, alright? I don't have templates for everything. And neither did I think earlier on the stream that I'd have to, you know, that I'd be coming back to redo it. Looks pretty good there, I think. Guys, what are this? What is this? What are these strange turtle-looking creatures? It's a kapapa? A kapapa? Wow, I've never heard of that. Certainly not here on Twitch.tv. The frozen creature in the Jade block was always memorable. There we go. We'll spam in the kappas. Yeah, it is very memorable. There's one that breaks out in the elite mission. I don't know. I'm just not that convinced by the Jade Sea. The Echovald Forest like works really well. There, that's what you're thinking with the ships, right? I'm guessing down there. But like, this is pretty much the same as what it always used to look like. Over there, we get a bit of distance. That's all right. I mean, that's definitely not aesthetics. This looks better with the draw distance out. Nobody's going to say that that looks better than this. Are they? Really? Because it still looks a bit foggy and shady back there anyway. Check out Joko's domain. It adds a lot. Well, let me try one more Jade Sea area. Let's try the challenge mission. So that's the mission itself. And it just used to look a bit foggier. Now you can see the full thing. There's also walking back out into Rhea's crater with Guile and Guile's staff or whatever. I used to sell these for 20 platinum a piece. And quite a mint here. I used to farm this on... What's the build I actually farmed it on? Was it a Mesmer build or was it an Assassin build? Probably an Assassin build. But there's a boss that spawns right near the entrance here. This boss. With these occultists. This guy. Cultist Milathuram. Yeah, Guile's the death magic guy in the city. But you kill this cultist. He'd drop a green. Or he'd drop nothing. And then you'd go back into the outpost and come out again. And you'd kill him again. And you'd just do that over and over and over. And eventually you'd get 20 platinum. Because you'd sell it in Kaineng. Those were always such fun moments, going back to Kaineng to sell your loot. And interacting with the people, hoping that there was someone that would trade. Yeah, Benji, I remember you giving me that staff, dude. I remember that on the Nightfall playthrough. That was really cool, dude. Here you go, look. This is the Mesmer build. Look at how ridiculously this rips through the stuff. It's nuts. So here we can climb a cliff, I believe. I just find myself really wanting Temporal Curtain in Guild Wars 1 when I play these moments. The funny thing is, you just have to be patient. Basically, the way that mob AI works in this game is they Temporal Curtain themselves. Because eventually their patrol gets to a point where they've wandered for a while. And the devs say, okay, we don't want you wandering any further. So they all just snap back to a specific coordinate. And they all just move into this and then move out again. So periodically, once every maybe 90 seconds or so, mobs in Guild Wars 1 all charge, typically all charge together and Temporal Curtain themselves. All right, this was the area I was thinking of that might be good. Even this isn't a very big difference. Not really. But there you have it. Don't really know what else to give you guys. The Giada Hatchery has long, sweeping... The Giada Hatchery is the place more than anywhere else in the game. Well, I'll do the actual mission here, because that'll take us south. Where it feels like you're just traveling across oceans with big waves. Yeah, you see this here? And you can just see far. The thing is, the waves are like more likely to line of sight us than anything else. This is alright though. You get all the way down there. And then we turn it on. Yeah, I don't know. It is beautiful. Mostly the cool thing about the Jade Sea was the effect on the ground itself. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at these reflections. Look at this. Oh, so good, guys. Especially for its day. I gotta tell you, this, what you're looking at on the ground here, this shininess, this was like mental. This was mind-blowing. This was like the coolest freaking thing. You don't even know. That reflection's really strange. But yeah, they have it. That's the Jade Sea. That's as good as I can give you. Total clan move out. And there's those stinking Kurziks there. Right, you guys want to see the Alkali Pan, you said. I'm going to go via Embark Beach so that I don't have to mess with the party window. Oh, look at all the players at Embark Beach and the compass. I should make the compass bigger. Hold on. Or is that too big? That's probably too big. Whatever. Where's the Nightfall cluster? Ancient Bounty. Dye Traders. That's Canthan Travel. So Nightfall Travel will probably be over here. I remember started playing WoW after playing RuneScape as my only MMO and being amazed that the sand was shiny. Ha! Wait, which game's sand was shiny? WoW's game was sand was shiny, was it? Tyrian Travel, Eye of the North Travel. This is not faster. I should have just gone through Camadan. Can you check out the road to Saitung Harbor from Xingzhou? Oh, that's a good idea, Dumak. Yes, I can do that. Remind me, though, after we've checked out the Alkali Pan. It's almost a shame that the devs did their 13th anniversary stream. Okay, take me to the Gates of Desolation. It's almost a shame that they did the 30th anniversary stream right before Bill and SCW did their thing. Wait, it wasn't the Alkali Pan, you said. What was it? Joko's Domain, wasn't it? Let's go to the Bone Palace then. Check out the Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 viewer account. I don't have viewer accounts up. I never really look at viewer accounts while streaming anymore. If you're going to be like, oh, Guild Wars 1 has more viewers than Guild Wars 2, we pretty much whenever we cover Guild Wars 1 that happens. It's cool though. I like to see the publicity there. Check out the Matani keys. Cherry Tunes, I actually did do that already in the video that I made. So if you want to check that out, it wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be, unfortunately. But it is very cool. Anything called the First City piques your interest? Yeah, mine too. Now we see if we got into the worm spores too quickly. No, they all got caught. Good. The second wave. So, Joko's domain. We come out of the Bone Palace. Oh, I guess it's kind of cool because you can see all the tendrils, right? Every time now. This was one of the laggiest, most stressful card areas that they ever implemented, especially in fights. Oh, yeah, it's alright. I mean, in a weird way, it just reveals how little, like, work is on the mountains and cliffs and things back there, you know? It's not too bad. Anything else in Nightfall people want to see? I did check the Garden of Saborin. It's pretty good. Actually, I don't think that made that in the video, so you guys might not have seen that. Let's see. If I do the Jenna's Horde mission, we can warp straight into the Nightfallen. The Nightfallen version of the instance, which would be pretty cool. So we don't have to spend ages walking all the way there. Is it the Garden of Saboring? Oh, god damn it. Fine. Koss. You can be some dead weight. Come on in. In you get. The Domain of Anguish. I must be honest. One of the things I've been curious about is Ravenheart Gloom. But I'm scared to go there in case it's like shit and it's ruined the idea of Ravenheart Gloom. So this is the Nightfallen Garden. This is like not necessarily as... I mean, even that looks better because the trees look a bit better there. This is not the beautiful version, but this is still cool because, you know, it's very distinct. But the idea here is you walk along this really long path and you get a long line of sight straight through the middle of the garden, all the way down there, as you can see. And before the update, it fogs it, but now you can see further. I was hoping for something more dramatic and you'd see all the way down, but this is what I did. I guess I could run along. When I was testing before I made the video, I never did this. Because don't forget, it's not infinite view distance. There is still view distance there, so as we go further forward. That's actually pretty cool now. Maybe I should just walk forward a bit. Look, because we can see the waterfalls and stuff back there. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of nice. The Mirror of List I checked. It's not that exciting. Very easy to check this one because you just go to the Grand Court. So if it Guild Wars 2 players, this is where you do that Jinundu event. It obviously feels way bigger here than it did in the sequel, but this is, you know, you fight, not Jinundu event, what am I talking about? The Forgotten event, the really difficult meta in Vabi. This is where this happens. You break a break bar of a guy on this corner, you break a break bar of a corner on this corner, you break a break bar of a guy here, right? And then in those other two corners, this is this place. And this is still floating. It's just branded. But, yeah, it's all right, but... Again, if anything, I sort of prefer it without here. Long Eyes Ledge, Serpent's Ire... Alright, let's try Ravenheart Gloom. I want to try out Ravenheart Gloom. Most of the Realm of Torment isn't actually that good because they're just small pockets of existence. So you could see it all anyway down here. So for example, that's another one of the outposts. Let me get to the edge here. Quite, it is funny. I do have weird moments in Guild Wars 1 where I just feel so slow because I'm not acclimated to it anymore. It's just like I'm wading through fudge. Those are the other outposts over there. But as far as I remember, even with this toggled off, you can see them perfectly fine. Wow, you can't! Oh, this is actually really good! Oh, I made a mistake. This is awesome. In my memory, these were always in full view. Wow. Yeah, if you guys don't know, all the outposts here, the gates, all of them, they're all physically visible they're just across like these abyssal, like interdimensional rifts, and the only way to get through them is to teleport all over the place. But that over there, that's the gate of fear, literally. You can see that over there. If we go to, or is it the gate of secrets? Fear or secrets? It's secrets. I got it wrong. It's secrets. But if you come here, look, we're now over on this platform, and that's back where we were a second ago. You see. Ah, and now with the new update, that's so much more obvious. That's the Gate of Madness over there, all the way over there. But without the update, you couldn't even see the Gate of Madness from this outpost. Oh, that's top. That's actually really good. I really like that. You can also see the dragon in the skybox somewhere. But what I really wanted to do was go to the Gate of Anguish and into Ravenheart Gloom, which is genuinely, like, aesthetically my favorite piece of endgame the devs have ever made. I prefer the. I don't take that sentence lightly. I prefer this to the castle and the giant fight against Zera. I prefer this to the demon realm in the Deimos fight. I prefer which Wing 4 is my favorite overall end game they've ever added ever. But just in terms of aesthetics and region, this is the top. This is awesome. I guess Wing 4 gets close with its dark room, with the voices and Saul and whatever, but there's no actual gameplay there, so Guild Wars 1 still wins out. This is Ravenheart Gloom, and as you go into the Expanse, it should become pitch black. And I'm kind of scared, because what they do is they drag in the view distance. I'm kind of scared that the update's actually ruined this area. Oh, it has a bit, actually. It gives you more visibility in here. See, I thought that this was going to do... You guys might not even be able to see it on Twitch. It's still pretty dark. It's still pretty cool. But the update has, in a weird way, robbed this area of its ambience a bit. Because what they did is they just pulled in the view distance super hardcore. But there you go. That's... So there, you see that? Yeah, you're supposed to pick up a shard of light to light the way. The truth is, players just got good enough to know it, or they fucked with their gamma anyway. But that first blind experience is something really quite exceptional. The last thing, maybe... No, I can't be bothered to go to the Crystal Overlook. All right, let's go to Eye of the North. Someone said something over here. I kind of want to go to the Burning Forest. I will show once again. I did this on my video. I'll show this again. So, there's a very famous moment for Eye of the North. Honestly, they did very well. The devs did. At this point, this was like the pinnacle of production quality for Guild Wars 1. There's this very prominent moment where to get here in Eye of the North, you've been underground and you've met the dwarves and you've learned about Asura Gates and you don't quite know where you are in the world, right? So you're in this cave. You come out of the cave and you realize you're in the far Shiver Peaks, and they do this amazing thing with the view distance where they push it out as you come out and they completely change the color grading, and it's like, yeah, welcome. That back there... Oh, no, that's not the Eye of the North. You can't actually see that. But yeah, this is a really profound moment, and I wanted to see what this looks like with the new option. So that is with the new option. The old option, it looks like this. View distance is even lower in the cave, and it pushes out a little less. So what would be beautiful is like some kind of method where as you go, it like, I don't know, with advanced on, it's something like that or something. Did you get what I mean? But yeah, it's a pretty good one. Right, Long Eyes Ledge. We already saw that. That's in the video as well. But I do want to try out Sacknoth Valley. It's a bit of a walk. Probably not Coop. Am I going to show off the toothy hole? The vagina monster? No, I'm not going to show that off. Because you actually have to play the game for that. And I can't be bothered to do a ton of Domain of Anguish quests, I vaguely remember. No, I'll tell you what, guys. The forest is alright, but it's just a cool looking area. It's not necessarily going to benefit from this update. Do you know what I mean? Give me a couple more suggestions, guys. If I've missed one of your suggestions, tell me now, because I know that there was another one and I've forgotten it already. Let's try south of Sifala. The toothy hole is right at the beginning, but it's just like a random thing on the ground. It doesn't look very cool until you proc the animations, which you have to do the quests for. So here we can see all the way along this. Once we get onto that hill, we'll be able to look across the lake where Drakkar is underneath. That looks kind of cool back there. Tarnished Coast. I already showed some of that off on the video. Unless you have a very specific area you want to see. The bridge in the Jaya Bluffs or Raisu Palace. Okay. Oh, yeah. We wanted to do the Saitang Harbour thing as well. Alright, so this is what this map looks like now. Incredibly, this is exactly how I remember it, but that's impossible. So this is the lake. And to look at what it actually was. What? Really? Jesus. That's a bit mind-blowing. Wow. I mean, it's honestly, it's such a cool update, guys. It is such a cool update. All the places like this, that it's like, oh yeah, there's a game, by the way, hidden behind all that fog. That's awesome. That is really, really awesome. I'm glad we came here. Yeah, it does. It makes you think of Silent Hill, doesn't it? Kaining. Saitang. Well, I already filmed Saitang. What we want to do is go to Xingje, and then we got to go along the path, don't we? To the top of the path and look back down at the harbour. So that's the actual answer here. So we come up this, I believe. Yep. Can I show riven Earth from on top of the floating rocks in the sky? Are you talking about, like, there's a rock bridge, isn't there? That's a bit deep in the explorable area, so I probably can't be bothered. Sorry. So, the trail. So, I've actually explored this in Toolbox. All of these maps render everything in anyway. So, it doesn't actually matter which side of which loading screen you're on. All the assets are there, essentially. But I guess we'll just come through to get our line of sight properly. So, that's the tutorial. That's the factions tutorial over there. This is the path leading down the trail. These are the mantids. Just got to clear those up. Now, interestingly, there's fog here, which is not view distance fog. There's another form of fog that they're using to keep the ambience on this, which I actually think is really cool. So, turning it off, you'll see that this ship, this is within our view, that it's sunken below the fog, so you can only see the top of the sails. But that's the map artists have done that deliberately. What the view distance fog is actually obscuring is this ship back here. So, this is actually a pretty cool example, I think, of a place where they haven't tampered with the integrity of the scene by pushing the draw distance out. Like, you still get the fog down there. This is really cool. Look at that. Look how weird the billboards are over there. For the town. Compared to the real. It's really strange, isn't it? Yeah, this is a curious one. You forgot which map it is in Kaining where you can see giant sewer waterfalls. That's quite a lot. You might be thinking of the outskirts of the city outside Martu Keep. That's a cool place I haven't thought of. So here you can go outside the city, look back into it, and you can see some like waterfalls of sewage that you had to swim through to get out. You also get some nice shots of the Ekavald. Oh, this is a good one, definitely. I don't think you get that much distance, do you? Oh, you do. Interesting. It seems that their view distance fog on this map is very thin. So they were always letting you see super far because maybe because it's a very simple map and it didn't hit FPS that hard here, so they just thought, fuck it, let them have it all. Look, it really doesn't change much. Wow. This is so bizarre because I think I know what it looks like in my memory and I just don't, you know. You want to see the sewage waterfalls? We've got to walk through a ton of Jade Brotherhood here who are just out picking daisies. cast our bread on them. How about looking out at the grassy area where the unicorns were? I don't remember any unicorns, dudes. What? What am I forgetting here? Grassy area with unicorns? I like the city there, though. Even that doesn't look any different, though. Amazing. Genuinely amazing. This must be such a simple map. They were just like, yeah, fine, we'll just give you the full... I mean, this was always a very striking map because it felt like such a breath of fresh air and so nice. So maybe that's the reason why, that graphically as well, they were kind of pushing quite a lot at you all the time. The Kirin. Zendaijan. So you mean over here, right? Well, interestingly, we can probably go from the back through the gate at the back of the harbour here, like you would if you were vanquishing. We might be able to get some good distance there. Yeah, this the score here is kind of amazing, especially with Factions. I think this Factions was definitely the best work Jeremy ever did. But I think that the reason I say that is because it's also some of the most distinct work he ever did. A lot of his Prophecy stuff, a lot of his Eye of the North stuff, a lot of the Core Guild Wars 2 stuff, frankly, just sounded, you know, it sounded very similar to many of his other things that I've heard him do. But Factions was just beautiful. He also did something different for Nightfall, but I didn't really like the Nightfall OST very much at all. I didn't think it was very good or very prominent in any real respect. But Factions was good. Factions was definitely awesome. That wasn't very good, guys. Yeah, Haiju Lagoon. That's up here, right? Haiju Lagoon might be good. That might actually be a good suggestion because you get kind of a long road that you look down, right, as you walk towards it. The cathedral at the start of Arborstone, I thought of that as well. That's in the video if you want to check that out. Only for a few seconds. It wasn't actually that good. So far, I definitely think Melandru's Hope, which we started this stream with, is the ultimate, you know, wow. What about the mission in Factions where you get to see the tower from the forest about to break into the Jade Sea? So you're talking about the end of... Wait, is it on at the moment? No, it's not on. There you go, that's Haiju Lagoon. We get a little bit more distance there. You're talking about... the last one, the Unwaking Waters, right? No, not the Unwaking Waters. There is no mission. You walk through the Moristrav Trail and you come out into the Unwaking Waters, which is what I opened the video with, which I thought was really good. Donations. Oh, Ewendell, dude, thanks so much, man. You should have had donation overlays on during the tournament cast, Bible Thump. Oh, did I get donations during the tournament? I don't even know if I could scroll to those. Oh my god! Oh no, these are like a month old. They're really old. Yeah, no, I think I might have had a couple though. Big audience means big donation. The train has arrived at the station, you said. Oh, I think you were the only one that did it, right? Anyway, thank you very much, dude. That's very cool of you. Big audience means big donation. Thanks, man. That's very nice. Guys, give me a couple more. Do you mean the mission with Kunavang in the tower? We'll do the Imperial Sanctum. Somebody asked for that earlier, so the start of the mission as we go to attack Thingy across the bridge. We should annihilate him, by the way. Let me sub on instead of... Oh, no, Washel's Worry is really good against him as well. Let me sub on... Oh, I don't know. Kind of want all these skills. Alright, we'll do instead of Tryptophan, because that has anti-synergy with Empathy. The Factions Elite missions. Now, that's a good idea. Ergo's Warren and stuff. That's a very cool idea. No, Kunavang, I don't want one of your things. So here you go. This is the bridge. This is the end of Factions. Oh, it looks a lot better. We get the full emphasis of the 3 towers. That's kind of cool. Well, not just 3 towers, but even more. You can even see the underworld areas off in the distance. I wonder if the fog shading that they offer for the underworld sections are provided by view distance, which now looks worse or de-emphasized. Alright, Shiro. Oh, I skipped the cutscene. I'm such a dick. I'm sorry, team. I'm sorry, stream. Air of Superiority is going to do nothing on this mission either, because he's the only guy to kill. Should have recognized that. He could just annihilate us. I don't really know how good this comp is for taking him out. Look, it's unrelenting assault, guys. It's just like what Revs do in Guild Wars 2. Like, I have no energy management here. Ow. I just kite him around a bit. My team comp might genuinely not be able to get him very well. I kind of wanted to see the end, so... Oh, do I have no weapons equipped? That would explain some stuff. Yeah, I didn't even have... That explains why my energy's been kind of shitty to deal with. Let's get empathy back up. It's going down slowly. Crystal Twister will probably die here unless they can get out of that corner. They did. Good. Can he even be fully energy drained? I should maybe just spam Wastrel's Worry as well, you know, an unnatural signet. No, empathy's going to be a lot more damage than all that. We got a good waste, not want not. Yeah. Oh, there's impossible odds. Uh-oh. Okay, Meditation of the Reaper. We can break that with attacks. We're going to wipe. I don't think we're going to kill Shiro. I genuinely don't think we're going to kill Shiro. I think he's killed my one Resurrector as well. I don't think this comp can take him out. Not even in normal mode. We have to counter comp him harder. Spoil Victor and stuff. If you do this with Heroes, Humans, Henchmen, Shiro ports you to an area. Would be cool to see the depth in that area. Yeah, that's what I was talking about a second ago. I mean, I'm not going to do anything too fiddly on this stream. Mai Shang heals were cool. It doesn't have to be factions, guys. We already did pre-searing. As a Rev, this is so interesting to see. Yeah, man. It's weird that you say that, because once upon a time I did a video speculating what Rev would be with the Shiro stuff based on this fight. And now it's like everything's reversed and this is the afterthought. Oh, we can revive. How did we revive? Do I have someone with We Shall Return? I guess I do. He might have just been out of energy. We might beat him then now that we can start with him on half health. Because he never reset. And everyone's got their energy back. Interestingly here, on my skill bar, for some reason it doesn't say 7. On my bind. Oh, I'll tell you why. It's because I only have the numpad bound. That's curious. This is right. Energy's doing a lot better now. Oh, this is way better. Oh, he's getting owned. Down you go, Shiro. Never quite got that waste, not whatnot. I got it. No! I had to keep cutting him. He's so low. Okay, Meditation of the Reaper's going to global us all, but if we can break through it and prevent him from healing too much, which we did there, we should have the kill now. Come on. One more empathy. Christ, he hits so hard. Another empathy. There it is. Alright, we won't skip the cutscene here, guys. So we'll see what the end of Factions looks like with the new graphics. Because all the cutscenes have been updated too, so I'm sure there's some good benefits from that.
I demand that you release me.
You are no longer an envoy. You cannot demand anything from us.
Of course I am. You have no power over me.
You are wrong, Shiro.
Denial and disorientation are common among the newly dead.
No. No. This cannot be.
You are merely a new spirit, lost between the realm of the mortal and the underworld.
You are our charge now.
We have reserved a special place in the underworld for you.
A place you will never escape from.
A place where you will finally pay for all of your sins.
I will get you all for this. This is not the end of me.
You are right about that. This is not your end. But you will wish it was.
We thank you for your help in capturing Shiro. We will be watching over you, waiting for the day when you will join us in the afterlife.
Until then, live a long and fruitful life.
Wait, what are you going to do to Shiro?
Let us worry about Shiro.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Wasn't Guild Wars 1 amazing in every way? Isn't Guild Wars 2 so much worse in every conceivable way? The story was just so good in this game. How hype was that cutscene, lads? What? I can't believe it. They don't even get an inch close to that with Path of Fire. Man alive. Alright, and now for the big reveal. Let's see what this looks like back here. It's alright, I guess. I don't think we could see to the end of this hallway before. Oh, we could. I mean, shows how much I know. You did it! You saved a Thor! You defeated Shiro! Sin, you're being rude, blah, blah, blah. Yes, heroes. Alright, there you go. Massive spoilers for Cantha there, guys. Enormous spoilers. Why didn't Guild Wars 2 have those types of cutscenes at launch? It actually did. They just weren't used in abundance. There's fundamentally nothing different about those kinds of cutscenes than, say, when the camera flies by showing off a ton of trebs outside the Shaymore garrison in early Personal Story. It's just they leaned more on the side-by-sides. So, yeah. Any other ideas, guys? Verdant Cascades by Slaver's Exile. I think I checked that out already because I tried to go on the video anywhere that was places people hadn't seen yet in Guild Wars 2. But honestly, it didn't look that good. Instead, I do want to check the depths of Tyria and see how that feels. I doubt that there's much going on in the depths of Tyria because, you know, it's the depths and... But they could be surprisingly wide and open. You never know. Another place I would love to check, and if you guys are going to enter the competition for 35 arm braces, maybe you should do so too. Like, I can't imagine they have restrained view distance under here, right? Because it's all just rock. The other place I want to check out is Magus Falls. If you actually take the time to go from Ventari's Refuge all the way through the Reed Bog and to the Falls, that could be kind of fun to see with the new LOD. However, I can't be bothered. Also, Dry Top. I love Guild Wars 1 Dry Top, and I kind of wanted to check it out, but I can't be bothered. Arbor Bay already checked out. Tarnished Haven, maybe we can go outside of. Cossage is absolutely right in chat there, saying, I just hope that future stories of Guild Wars 2, we get cutscenes showing villains talking to one another, like Nightfall had when we got to see Varish with her generals. I just want more character development for antagonists and show their relationships. Cossage doesn't go the whole way to understanding what's so good there, though. What was amazing about that was just that we were seeing secondary and tertiary characters engaged in scenes whereby we, the player character, had nothing to do with them. So once they threw that caution to the wind and said, fine, we'll just do that, and they didn't worry about, like, practically what the player character knows versus what the human controlling the player character knows. Once they just got over that, it meant we got that great character development, which happened to be for antagonists in Nightfall, but it doesn't have to be. A scene like that would be amazing. A moment where we cut away to see Maloney and Koss, you know, laying down some sweet tunes and making sweet love by the fire or whatever, and baby talking one another before they get it on. That's really powerful too, in order for us to be invested in their relationship, you know? It's just that element of seeing what's going on when we're not around. And that's what was really cool. And I wonder whether Guild Wars 2 can do that a little bit more. I don't know if I remember any examples of Guild Wars 2 ever having done it, but there you have it. So here we got this. There is that really beautiful area there in Arbor Bay, which I kind of wanted to check it out. Have we checked out Doa? Yeah, we did. Yeah, like Talcora's spying as well, right? And she's a protagonist, but we got to see a little bit of what she was doing. Oh, sorry, the game's really loud. Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's because I turned it up because of the cutscene. Yeah, and like that made Morgan so cool because we knew a lot about General Morgan, despite the fact we hadn't, as a hero, interacted with him very much, because the devs had said, you know what, let's just show off what's going on with Morgan. Let's treat the game like a movie and like break that apart, you know. That can lead to issues, but as long as the writers know what those issues might be before they come up, they can prevent them. And you won't have stuff like we had in Season 2 where we say Morgemoth, blah, 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 and it's like, but how does that character know who Morgemoth is? And, you know, you can avoid stuff like that, but you have to play very carefully. These kinds of Asuran structures in the distance are really interesting. They're quite grand, considering how little time the Asura have been here already. And they're only really evident with the new advanced thing. This is really weird as well. What's with the shifting of the rocks? What's going on there? That's quite close to us. Curious. Look, I just want a scene with Joko in his forbidden vault. What with his harem? Yeah. Augury Rock wasn't that great. Dunes of Despair with the old human-style cities. I mean, I have to say, I'll do one final one, and it's one that appeared in the video, but I really thought was extremely profound, and I was really happy with. Is right back here at Ascalon City, you know, like that we're still in sincere nostalgia territory when we're here. I love the Guild Wars 1 loading screens, by the way. I don't know, what is it about these screens? It's the UI mod that I've got enabled, and the fading like this. I love that fading. They don't do that in Guild Wars 2, do they? Not as well as they do here. That's such a nice effect. Yeah, well, oh god, I'm at the wrong place anyway. The Great Northern Wall. This is, like, really, really cool. The whole point of this mission, the whole point of the story here, is with the defenders of the wall, and we're watching an attack coming in. And so you can actually climb on the wall, look out into the scary north, right? And this is off right now, okay? So this is what we were presented with at launch. Ugly, as you can see, horrible, pixelated, ugly pixelated tree, ugly pixelated rock over there. Very little detail over here. Ugly, ugly, ugly. You know, it's just a bit gross, right? We turn it on, and it's just such a nice change, right? Everything's really clean. You can see all the wall, turning it off again. You can't even see that wall there, but you can see the wall flanking all the way along. You get the actual models all the way back out there. You get all the rocks properly defined, moving along. And then this bit here is really what struck me. Look at that. That's quite deep in the mission. In fact, that's the ruins of Sirmia mission, guys. That's like where you run around with Rurik and like all the Devourers are popping up constantly. That's the ruins of Sirmia mission. That tent is the bonus for the thing, right? And look at that. Look all the detail we get now. That doesn't even appear without this. And then you turn it on and it's like you get all... it's good. Really, really, really liked it here. I just thought it was fantastic. Yak Spen's an interesting one because on my original video when SCW added LOD full, I showed this off with regard to the trees because you had horrible impostering going on here. So you get all these imposter trees all around, all of them pretty much, and they all look a bit nasty and gross. I'm sure we can accentuate the issue by standing back here. And then you can turn it on. And it's really quite nice. All the way back there too. I wonder, looking south down Lorna's Pass from Beacon's Perch. The Let's Play video I'm supposed to be editing right now is actually set at Lorna's Pass. So this is kind of a weird experience for me. So I've literally been playing here in Guild Wars 2. So that's Lorna's Pass down there. Turning off again. Bit of a difference. Kind of nice. Crater, I regret to say, I haven't found any good places in Crater. None of them. I tried the Wizard's Tower, it wasn't that great. I tried Lion's Arch, it wasn't that great. Maybe the Delesio Seaboard, looking out at the undead fighting the White Mantle. One of these rare outposts that has enemies live in it. The Delesio Seaboard is not available for play in Guild Wars 2. It's actually one of the very few regions of Crater that is still inaccessible. Like, I don't know, Crater's just, it's not got that much going on. There's the white beaches and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not sure what else to tell you. Look, I tried Temple of the Ages looking out at the swamp. I mean, the thing is, I'm thinking very limited in terms of what's near the outposts. I'm sure if I had ventured a bit deeper out, I'd find all kinds of great stuff. And I hope people do. We'll do one Maguma one, shall we? Let's go out into the Druid's Overlook. You missed Titans in Guild Wars 1? Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe they'll do a story to do with the Titans. I still think that the Titans should be hooked into a Wizard's Tower story. I think it'd be really good. So, I mean, there you go, guys. That's the Guild Wars 1 update. It's extremely fun. It's extremely cool. Little bit of a look at UI modification as well. High-res skill icons, fresh UI. There's all the reason to get into Guild Wars 1. Check out the subreddit. That's where really a lot of the action's going on. There is another a forum called Guild Wars Legacy or something where people type. But the subreddit seems to be where the devs are interacting a little bit more. There are more changes coming through. So I will end this with just a little bit of news for you all. Check this out. Someone lovingly made a thread about my video covering this change on the Guild Wars 1 subreddit. And I saw the thread and I thought, oh, that's really nice of them. You know, the Guild Wars 1 subreddit is very slow moving, so I dropped a comment and I said, oh, cool thread, glad you guys are liking the video. I tried not to focus on it too much, but the last time I made a video, the one a month ago, on just LOD full, it was kind of ridiculous in terms of viewership. I think more people tuned in to hear me talk about that than the Path of Fire post show, and that's true, guys. That is true. The new video, the video from a month ago got over 100,000 views. And there's only like 80,000 people tuned in for the Path of Fire post show. I mean, there were a ton of live people in the post show, so it's really a bit disingenuous of a comparison for me to make. Clearly, everyone was much more excited and there was more hype around that. But still, because it's really sort of odd. But anyway, I said, I wish I could have ranted and raved about how cool that was without looking like I'm somehow bragging about viewership counts. Because it's not about the quality of my videos at all. It's just this simple fact that there's a lot of people like me who love seeing Guild Wars 1 updates. And that's amazing and I love it. So I typed that. You know, just threw some support in the thread. And Bill Frice, the guy that put in all this work, this advanced option, he watched the video and he has a response here, so I'll read this out. It's kind of news. Listen, guys, listen very carefully. He says, haha, I like how you called out the oddly named advanced option. Because remember, this is the guy that added that option. He says, I'll be honest, it has a vague name simply due to localization complexity when I initially started looking at the code a couple of weeks back. There happened to be an existing localized string for another piece of options UI that was simply called advanced, so I cannibalized it selfishly for my new option. So that's why this is this random, it just says advanced, because he basically has taken some other hidden work that someone else had done. Kind of inventive. He says, when I added the whisper option, I wasn't so lucky. I wrote the simplest description I could in English and then painstakingly went over to my friendly neighborhood Google Translate and localized it for every supported language to the best of my ability, which is something like 10 languages. Yeah, people don't realize this, but in Guild Wars 1, if you look at the localization, they got a lot of them. They have Korean, French, German, Italian, Spanish, traditional Chinese, Japanese, Polish, Russian, and Bork, 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 which is like supposed to sound like the Swedish chef. Amazingly, the advanced localization has got, it's called Advanced, something like that. It's actually, it must mean that Bork, Bork, Bork is somehow algorithmically localizing everything. That's so incredible. I want them to put that into Guild Wars 2. This is a joke language. Sorry if I've jumped the gun a little bit here. This is a joke language, like so English, it says disable mouse walking. If we go to Bork, 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 it says disable mouse walking. It says that, yeah. So, and it's just like a joke version of English. And it updates everything in the game. All the quest dialogue, everything. This doesn't have a voice language, but yeah. There's audio languages for a ton of them as well. You can actually play Italian. Guild Wars 2 didn't have Italian localization or Korean localization. Do you guys want to listen to a Korean cutscene? I kind of want to listen to a Korean cutscene. Let's go find a Korean cutscene. I might have to restart the client. I hope not. But it might be like Guild Wars 2 where I have to restart the client. We'll see. Oh no, look, it's downloading the files now. I think we just downloaded some Korean voice files. Are you guys ready? Oh, wait. Let's go to Nightfall because we can just click a button to... Oh, no. Let's do Eye of the North because there'll be more familiar characters. Let's go to the Central Transfer. Let's see the penultimate cutscene of Eye of the North in Korean. Anyway, let me go back to Bill as well, just before we do that. So he says, yeah, when I added the whisper option, I wasn't so lucky. I wrote the simplest description I could in English and then painstakingly went over to my friendly neighborhood Google Translate and localized it for every supported language to the best of my ability. Something like 10 languages, I think. He says, the other thing is the character LOD fix. Yes, your character's detail would drop as you zoomed out your camera due to dropping to a lower poly model. This was causing some armor and outfits to look incredibly bad. Apparently, Mesmer Obsidian Armor was one of those guys. A lot of people have said this patch fixed that. He said, this fix just simply disables using LOD on your character, regardless of the advanced option being on or not, which globally disables all model LOD transitions. So what he's saying is if you ever look at another player from no matter what distance, they'll always be the full quality now. Because obviously that's an optimization effect that isn't needed on contemporary cards. He says, anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the patch. And here's the exciting bit. So if you're wondering why I'm waffling through this comment, listen up now. He says, anyways, I'm glad you enjoyed the patch. There's already a few things here and there I plan on improving. I noticed that you've called out the windowed full screen limitation will only work on your primary display. I fixed that last night. And I may just port my fix over to Guild Wars 2 as well. Definitely don't expect me to be doing balance changes because believe me when I say nobody wants that. So Bill is like your god, guys. Get on your knees, bow before this man. It sounds like he's got more ideas for changes and he's open to more ideas for changes. I believe that there's a thread on the Guild Wars 1 subreddit right now where they're like writing out a list of things that they might like to see. He won't go as far as balance changes, but it sounds like there could be stuff that will still be coming. I mean, I'll do videos as it comes out. And then I responded and I said, did you add localization for Bork, Bork, Bork? And he said, no, I'm curious how it works. Well, apparently it's just automatically done it. I find that amazing. But yeah, if we go Bork, 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 it has automatically changed it. That's kind of incredible. Don't know how it managed to, but there you have it. So yeah, pretty cool, right, guys? More to come, I guess, is the small way to sum this up. Right, let me find this cutscene in Korean. And that's going to be about it for my stream today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm a bit I don't know what I want to stream tomorrow or what's going on. I just know that there's other work I'd rather be doing. So, I don't know. You might see I don't stream tomorrow. We'll see. We plan to strike the Great Destroyer. There is no other way. Enjoy, guys. Oh, what? I thought that... Hold on. There's... Someone we can speak to here should remind us of what's going on. Where is it? I don't really know. Amazing that working Guild Wars 1 even helps development in Guild Wars 2. Yeah, I don't know whether I'll ever use full screen support for secondary monitors myself. I just know that that's a limitation. So whatever. We'll go to Nightfall. We'll watch the Abaddon cutscene. Oh, but I really want it to be like... Yeah, whatever. We'll just go. Isn't it the pool? Oh, the scrying pool. Dude, you're a god. Yeah, the scrying pool. Let's go to the scrying pool. Hey, Kayuka 1909. Alright, let's go over here. Hall of Monuments. The text language is currently on English, but the voice language is on Korean. So you'll get to see the English subtitles and you'll know what is being said, but it will be Korean that you're reading. Look at all the models it's downloading right now. It's taken ages to get in because it's got all of my Hall of Monuments stuff to download, which I haven't done for ages. Thanks very much, Atchafeed. That's very, very sweet of you. Thanks very much for the sub. And anybody else as well. Quick reminder, if you guys have Amazon Prime and you like this stream, you want to support this stream in any way, you at the click of a button in like 2 seconds, you can give me your Amazon Prime sub for free. It does nothing but give me a little bit of pennies in my pocket. And it gives you some Guild Wars 1 emotes. Maybe people in chat can spam those. That means you could go anywhere on Twitch and spam Guild Wars 1 emotes and things, which is kind of cool. And you get badges, other fun stuff. So yeah, that's free. Oh my god, this loading screen. Has there been any more updates info on the login screen background changes that you know of? Sorry for spamming. I'm just excited to see the other screens. Don't worry about spamming. Just keep going until I see it. I haven't heard anything. I did message SCW and, you know, really try and push and say, hey, this would be really cool. I'd love it. Oh, is it going to be a thing? But I haven't heard anything since. So as far as I can gather, it's probably not happening. Or if it is, it's a lot more complicated than he was at first led to believe. The thing is, they're going for low-hanging fruit. I am a big believer. Beggars can't be choosers, right? So I'm not gonna be picky about it. I don't want to like throw them a message and be like, oh, where is it? Why haven't you done it? Because I just think that's the twattiest thing I could ever do. It's you know, if it's not come, then it's not come. I also don't want to feel like I don't want it to look like I'm guilt tripping them to try and like do the character select screen thing. It would be amazing. I'm pretty sure that he'd never be able to get the Prophecies one back anyway, just because engine-wise it works so differently. Like, the character select isn't character select icons, it's you actually click your characters that are sitting around a campfire. They stand up and walk towards the screen. Like, it was a very different style of character select, a really cool one. But they changed it, I guess, when they decided they wanted to sell more character slots to people and stuff, and it wasn't scalable. So, since then, I you know, how would that work if you have 10 characters in your account? How would that work if you had 12, 15? It just wouldn't, I suppose. Asking why haven't you done it might have an interesting answer, but I think probably it will have the answer we'd expect, which is, oh, it was too hard. Alright, so... show me past events. Show me the end of the journey in Korean. Here we go. The Great Destroyer. And all of these cutscenes will have the LOD enabled, by the way, so...
We have driven them back.
Oh, I think I have to restart the
cost. And the destroyers are regrouping.
It's not working. I think I had to restart the client. Whatever. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ruined.